Right now, you are using Claude at a fraction of its real power. Straight out of the box, it is basically a genius locked in a room with no windows. Brilliant, but blind. It cannot see your inbox. It cannot open your files. It cannot touch your calendar, your code, or your customers. Connectors are the nerves that change all of that. Flip one on, and Claude suddenly gets eyes and hands inside the tools you already live in every day. So, today I am going to wire up the 10 connectors that turn Claude from a clever chatbot into an operator that actually does your work. Real setup, real prompts you can steal in the next few minutes. First, 60 seconds on what a connector really is, because most people get this part wrong. Anthropic now has over 400 connectors in the official directory. Each one is a secure, live bridge between Claude and an outside app. This is not copy and paste. When you connect Gmail, Claude can read your actual threads. When you connect your calendar, it can see your real week. And with the newer versions, it does not just read, it can act. Drafting, creating, updating, with you approving anything that matters. Turning one on takes a single click. Open. Claude, go to Customize, then Connectors, hit Add, and sign in. That is the whole setup. Now let's light them up, one nerve at a time. Nerve 1. Gmail. This is the one that hands people back their mornings. Once Claude can see your inbox, you stop reading email and start commanding it. Steal this prompt. Go through my unread email from the last 2 days. Group it into what needs a reply, what is just information, and what I can safely ignore. Then, for anything urgent, draft a reply in my voice. In one shot, Claude triages a chaotic inbox and hands you finished drafts, and it never hits send without you. To switch it on, it is Customize, Connectors, Add Gmail, sign in with Google. 30 seconds and your inbox stops running your life. Nerve 2. Google Calendar. Email tells Claude what people want from you. Your calendar tells it what your time actually looks like, and together they are lethal. Try this one. Look at my calendar for next week. Find me 3 90-minute blocks of deep work, protect my mornings, and tell me which meetings I could cancel or shorten. Claude reads your real schedule and hands back a plan. Ask it to create the events, and with your OK, it writes them straight in. This is the connector that quietly turns Claude from a to-do list into an actual chief of staff. Nerve 3. Google Drive. This is where Claude stops guessing and starts knowing, because now it can read your real documents, spreadsheets, and slides. No more pasting giant walls of text into the chat. You just point it at the file. Steal this. Open my quarterly planning doc and the sales spreadsheet and give me a one-page summary a busy executive could read in 2 minutes with the 3 numbers that moved the most. It pulls straight from your live files. Connect it once, and every document you own becomes something Claude can instantly search, summarize, and reason over. Nerve 4. Slack. If your work happens in Slack, this connector is like giving Claude a seat in every single channel. It can catch you up, dig out that decision buried 3 weeks deep, and, since the newer interactive update, even draft a message and let you preview and approve it before it ever posts. Try this. Summarize what I missed in the engineering channel this week. Pull out any decisions and open questions, and draft a short update for my team. You review, you approve, it posts. That is hours of endless scrolling, just gone. Nerve 5. Notion. Drive holds your files. Notion holds your brain. The wikis, the project docs, that messy second brain you have been building for years. Connect it, and Claude can search all of it and write straight back into it. Steal this. Search my Notion for everything related to the new pricing project. Then create a clean summary page with the key decisions, the open items, and who owns what. It reads your whole workspace and builds you a brand new page inside it. This is how Claude becomes the librarian for absolutely everything you know. Quick pause, because this is the perfect moment for it. Look at what you just did. You wired Claude into 5 of your apps. So let me ask you to install one more connector, except this one upgrades you, not the machine. Think of subscribing as connecting this channel directly to your feed. I do the slow, unglamorous work. I test every new tool and every new connector all the way through, and I hand it back to you as one straight, honest answer for free. Installing that connection takes a single tap on subscribe. Do it right now, and let's go wire up the five that separate the real power users from everyone else. Nerve 6, GitHub. Now we cross from your inbox into your actual work. Connect GitHub, and Claude can read your repositories, walk through a pull request, and explain exactly what changed and why. For anyone who touches code or manages the people who do, this one is enormous. Try this. Look at the 3 open pull requests in this repo, summarize what each one does, and flag anything risky before I review it. Claude reads the real diffs and gives you a briefing. It turns a scary wall of code into a plain English decision you can actually make in seconds. Nerve 7, linear. This is the modern command center for shipping product, and connected to Claude, it finally becomes conversational. No more clicking endlessly through boards. You just ask, what is the status of the current cycle? Which issues are blocked? And which ones are at risk of slipping? Claude reads your real project data and answers in seconds. Tell it to create issues from a messy list of bugs, and it files them for you, cleanly titled and assigned. It is the fastest way to run a project without living inside the tool all day. Nerve 8, Canva. And this is where it gets genuinely fun, because now Claude can design. Connect it, and you can go from a raw idea to a real editable graphic without opening a single template. Try this. Create a clean 5-slide carousel for Instagram announcing our new feature in a modern, minimal style. And Claude works with Canva to generate it, ready for you to tweak. For creators, marketers, and anyone who has ever stared at a blank canvas with no idea where to start, this one connector alone is worth the entire setup. Nerve 9, Zapier. And this is the real secret weapon, because Zapier is not one connector, it is a key to thousands. Zapier already talks to over 8,000 apps, so plugging it into Claude is like handing Claude a universal remote for the entire internet. That app you wished was on this list? There is a very good chance Zapier already reaches it. Ask Claude to trigger a workflow, and it can add a row to a sheet, send a message, or update a record across tools that have no direct connector of their own. If a connector is a single nerve, Zapier is a whole nervous system in one plug. Nerve 10, Stripe. And we finish on the one that speaks the language every business actually cares about: money. Connect Stripe, and you can ask about your real revenue in plain English. No dashboards, no exports, no spreadsheets. Try this. How much revenue did we bring in last month versus the month before? How many new subscribers did we add? And how many customers churned? Claude queries your live payment data and simply tells you. For a founder, this is the whole difference between wondering how the business is doing and just asking and getting a real answer in the middle of a conversation. Here is where it goes from useful to genuinely unfair. The real magic is not any single nerve. It is firing several of them at once. Watch this one prompt. Pull last month's revenue from Stripe. Summarize the wins from our Notion project. Draft a short investor update, and then post a heads up in Slack that the draft is ready. 4 connectors, 1 sentence. That is no longer a chatbot. That is a chief of staff who can see everything and act across all of it at the same time. The power was never really in the tools. It is in the wiring between them. One serious word before you run off and connect everything. These connectors do not just read, they can act. And an action out in the real world does not come back. So keep a human in the loop for anything that sends, deletes, or spends. Let Claude draft the email, but you hit send. Let it prepare the change, but you give the final approval. Connected, but always supervised. That is the whole game. So there they are, the 10 connectors that turn Claude into an operator. Gmail, Calendar, Drive, Slack. Notion, GitHub, Linear, Canva, Zapier, and Stripe. Now, to make this dead simple, I built you a free one-page playbook. Every connector, the exact killer prompt for each one, and the 30-second setup, so you can wire up your own Claude tonight. To grab it, just comment the word nerve on this video, and I will send it straight to you, or take the link in the description. It is completely free. And if you want to go further, my beginner guides for Claude Code, Codex, and Claude for Work are down there too. And here is my ask. On YouTube, hit subscribe or become a member. On Facebook, tap subscriber. And follow along on Instagram, where I post all of these builds. Now go give your Claude some nerves. I will see you in the next one.